Welcome to my presentation. This is the second presentation, leading on from the first presentation where I discussed the theory and the principles I intend to put into practice. So anyway, without further ado, my presentation is divided into three parts. The first part is a recap of my part 1 presentation summary to remind you what my thinking was up to then. Then how I implemented these principles into my design, and at the end, questions and discussions. To remind you, my puzzle is how do I promote and teach speaking skills in an online environment. My blend is a synchronous blend of Skype, audio and video conference mode. I'm sure you're familiar with Skype. And asynchronous technology, Voxapop, which is a voice discussion board. Basically, it's like an audio email. So basically, you record your message and then someone can listen to your message and reply to them in their own time. My pedagogical aims is to build group cohesion and spoken confidence using a predominantly top-down approach and to promote autonomous learning. My learning objectives in more details by the end of the unit. The students will be able to initiate, sustain and conclude conversations at length on topics concerning their hometowns and interests with more confidence and fluency. So I'll click here to go on. So my structure in a nutshell. Well, the three most important considerations in my design is pedagogy here. This is the most important. And my design is in two phases. In the first phase, it is very teacher-centered, and in the second phase, it's very student-centered. Factors influencing my design is, of course, context. I have adult learners who wish to join bachelor English-speaking courses at Tallinn University, and their level will be around upper intermediate. This will be a small group, about 10, 11 or 12 students, and they'll be based in southern European countries, mainly Italy. The technology I'm going to use is WordPress as the content management system, as I'm presenting here, Skype, and Voxapop, which is the asynchronous voice board. Now, as I know some of you have not heard of Voxapop, I'm going to take a little bit of time to show you how it works. And it's also very important because this is the heart of my design. So if you listen, what you're going to do here is I'll show you how it looks like. This is Voxapop. And this is how it looks. You see here. Basically, this is something I've done earlier. I recorded 5 messages of people talking about their hometowns in Estonia. You will see that there are traditional exercises based on Voxapop later, and then at the end, the students themselves are going to just make their own Voxapop messages responding to each other, probably in the same theme. So I'd just like you to listen to the first 3 messages, which I'll let you listen to in its entirety. The idea is, where do they come from? And from a TEFL point of view, perhaps you'll recognise what language point I'm trying to emphasise here.
Hello everyone, my name is Anneli and I come from the capital city of Estonia. It is huge by Estonian standards, but not by European standards. It has a population of around 500,000 people and it is a World Heritage Site. It has a very beautiful medieval centre where there is a famous town hall and pharmacy. There are also many churches, including St. Olaf Church, which used to be the tallest building in the world. I enjoy coming to the old town to eat in restaurants and sometimes to have a beer in the local pubs. I also like to go shopping, normally at the shopping centre nearby. Actually, it's very close to Viro Hotel.
Hello, Anneli. My name is Marcus. Your city is indeed very beautiful and much larger than mine. About 70,000 people live in my city. I come from the 3rd largest city in Estonia, which is the easternmost city in the country, very close to the Russian border. most famous tourist attraction is the medieval castle situated by the river. Inside the castle is, in my opinion, the most interesting museum in my hometown, where you'll find all about the history. Like Annalie, I enjoy eating out and occasionally having a glass of wine in the local bar. I also like to go swimming in the sea in the wintertime. That's when it's not frozen, of course. There's nothing more refreshing than an ice swim.
Hi Annalie, hi Marcus. My name's Matty and I come from a small town by the sea. It's not as big as Marcus's and Annalie's hometowns. Only about 12,000 people live here. In fact, Marcus, I don't think we could be further away from each other. Well, unless I lived on one of the two biggest islands in Estonia, Saaremaa and Hiiumaa. They are both directly west from here, and incidentally, Saaremaa is much bigger than Hiiumaa. Anyway, I live in one of the most popular seaside resorts in Estonia, and it has a slightly bohemian atmosphere. It's very famous for its mud treatments and spa hotels. And in fact, the famous composer Tchaikovsky used to spend his holidays here. It was also very popular with the Tsars of Russia, who liked this town so much that they built a railway here. The station is still preserved in its traditional style, but the train no longer runs. I like walking my dog by the sea, but unlike Annalie and Marcus, I don't go to bars. In the summer, I spend all my time swimming in the sea, but unlike Marcus, I would never go swimming in the winter time. He's much braver than me.
Go on then. No, it's not yet. Go on.
Hi Annalie. Hi Marcus. Hi Matty. My name's Tina.
Okay, so you understand how Fox-a-Pop works. Here you have a model. Now you may well ask that I said that we're practicing, the main aim is on spoken skills, but yet you're listening to people speaking on Fox-a-Pop. Well, the idea is that the students will be able to do this at the end in the second phase. So the first phase is trying to provide support for the second phase. So my design is in two phases. The first phase is based on Gagne instruction design, which is an associative paradigm, or you could think as far as acquisition metaphor, where you pour knowledge into someone. And the aim is to build students' spoken confidence using the Fox-a-Pop discussion board. I know listeners are receptive skill, speaking is a productive skill, but basically the whole idea is this will provide learner support for the second phase, which is based on Safri and Duffy's framework, where the aim here is to build students' spoken skills using a predominantly top-down approach and promote learner autonomy.